All right, now that we have looked at those million bajillion linebackers and sorted that out, a couple other things to address before we get to renaming people, right? First and foremost, we're still not going to get any respect on a national level in terms of like the highest rated dudes. But conference-wise, now that we're in the Mountain West, we're getting quite a bit of respect here. Good Lord, our defensive line especially. I mean, compared to other teams in the conference, we absolutely have a team that can compete. What do you look for most when doing position changes? I mean, I just kind of look at the key attributes, right? Like, I typically do prioritize moving people to defense over offense, but it changes on a position-by-position basis. Primary thing that we do is try to make sure that on defense, the fastest players are in the secondary. On offense, the fastest players are at wideout. But, you know, if you have a guy that's really fast, but he can't run routes, there's going to be no reason to put him at wideout, right? So, just looking at a lot of the key stats while keeping like speed as a priority. In terms of the team, before we rename everybody, how weird is it to see that Mountain West logo? We are going to redshirt all of the newbies, as we always do. That extra year of eligibility out of them. At a higher rating, that includes the million bajillion centers. Holy hell. Defensively, sit out Sumner. Corners that we have. Safety. Cool. So, the depth chart. This will be intriguing. We will go with Cornell Sanders. I mean, he's the highest rated guy on the team. I'm pretty much going to be willing to give the highest rated players the opportunities to succeed. I am a little bit worried about Kyrie Flat Earth. Bill Cincinnati is a physical, mental beast. But I also imagine he would be the top power back. So I feel like it's okay. I feel like he'll still get plenty of opportunities to run. And when it comes to the fullbacks, if we need Kyrie Flat Earth, then that's fine. And if we need Bill Cincinnati, then that's fine as well. Wideout situation. We're not going to have as much speed as we typically do with the outside edges if we choose to leave it this way. But I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to give it a shot and just go by overall. Out of the gates, see how the boys do, and take it from there. My guess is that we're going to have to fix a good amount of the O-line. Of course. Of course. Always. Always. I really hope they fix that with an update. Really hope they do. So again, center is a smidge weaker. Actually put Lester up there. I think we can get away with the center position being a little bit weaker when they are surrounded with an immense amount of talent on that O-line. Let's see. Starting left end, we got Ryan Clark. I mean, I know why it wants to put Ingold there, but and I still think these guys will get plenty of opportunities. The development of some of these players defensively this year is insane. World Champ could actually play the left with team player, and I could trust them to do it effectively. I have Ingold there. I mean, this defensive line is outrageous. And then we got Sloman at defensive tackle. Outrageous. I mean, whether or not we choose to run a 4-3, a 3-4, it doesn't really matter. There is just an immense amount of talent on this team. Yeah, the middle linebacker combination is ridiculous, frankly. I think a 3-4 is fine, a 2-2-7. I think what we'll end up doing is simming for a decent amount of the season until it's like, oh, our season's on the line type of deal. Because I don't want to see this team underperform for no reason whatsoever, even if it means having a little bit more fun. Oh yeah, Moki, the off-season development that we got, despite the coordinator changes, insanity. Absolute insanity. You can only imagine what this team would look like had we not gotten rid of those other coordinators. Third down back. Let's go with Peter Dowd. I mean, that guy is fast as hell. Power back is Bill Cincinnati. Okay. Slot receiver, we're just going to go off of ratings at this point. I mean, we'll move people around as need be. Best defensive tackle. Sloman? Oh my god, dude, this is nuts. You're going to have to run an 8-1-2. So we'll have World Champ on the left. Clark and Gambler behind him. Ingold on the right, also with Clark and Gambler behind him. Defensive tackle is hilarious. Linebacker situation, I mean, even if I say let's put frickin' Junior Gooch there, I mean, it's still ridiculous. And then even move people around. Just prioritize this based off of ratings. It's fine. Like, this team should be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And in terms of who we're up against in this conference, right? Now that we're in the frickin' Mountain West. You got Arkansas at an 84. We're at an 88. Clemson at an 87. 83 Coastal, 85 Colorado, 76 Jack State, 84 Louisiana, 85 Miami, 83 Michigan State, 85 Utah, 84 Virginia Tech. I mean, we're the top of the heap, but it is a very competitive conference. We do need to rename our new freshmen, but I have still not decided how the hell we want to handle the season after the ridiculousness of last year. I'm still trying to figure that out. So, potentially awkward cut on YouTube aside, let's go over all these brand new names, shall we? Starting off at running back, Alaka Shabazz. I Shot the Sheriff and JJ the Jet Plane. Your fullbacks now, Stephen A. Smith and Gage the Elephant. You got Dom Minatrix at wideout. New tight end, Corey and Topanga. Your new O-lineman, Liquid IV. Gigawatts. Jamario Brothers. Payne Spain. Robocop. Tinkle Rainbow Sprinkle. And Jarius the Hairiest. At defensive tackle, Wet Hot American Sumner. At corner, Ty, Quando, and Kane enable. New safety, Sheep Shearer. Those are your new additions to the team this year. Our depth chart is set up and established. In terms of the playbook, to be honest, I think we leave the team on multiple defense because our defense is very well set up. I think we go multiple defense, multiple offense, just be aggressive as hell, full Dan Campbell. And we see what happens here. In terms of the decision about simming or not, in terms of the typical super sim, holy shit, a lot of players just locked us out immediately. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is a combination of menu simming and do the typical super sim that we've done throughout this challenge so far. I think that is the game plan. We definitely scouted that guy out. So let's get him on 10. Bond was a gem that locked us out. We'll get Mama on 50. Get Nate Westerman on, or 25, not 50. Normally we do 50. We'll put him on 25. And also, we'll get another prediction up about promotion, relegation, or hold for this season. Lake Love was okay. JT Byam locked us out. Costanzo was looking good. And then, of course, all of the linebackers in the world. Not including Kamani Brown. All of the linebackers. Good Lord. So we will we'll see how this pans out. If it looks like we're not winning games despite the menu sim, then we'll start being more active in the games. But if this team is just going to be steamrolling other programs like it looks like they could, then we'll just carry that momentum all the way until conference title time. You know, conference title games, playoff games, we'll still prioritize those. Dude, this is a ridiculous season for linebackers. Oh, my God. But if we can get through these seasons a little bit more quickly without apparently damaging the team's potential because they play worse in the Super Sim, then so be it. Locked out for a lot of the corners already. Take a look at Greg Stockton. 91 speed, 61 man coverage. He's okay. He's okay. 10 points on him. Avery Lloyd. Gem of an option. A lot of gems on the defensive side this year. Trevor Rashad. Also a gem. Jesus. It's the year of gems. My God. Safety Rashawn Adams is a bust. And then Myers on the other side. We'll put those first couple of points on him. So our first game of the season ended up being the Duke Blue Devils. As unfortunately quite a few of those gems have locked us out already. But again, it's not a huge year of needing a ton of players. So we'll get who we get, and that is okay. How'd last season go? We got promoted again, and we simmed most of the season. Are we getting locked out immediately? No starting interest from these players, so we're trying to get into the conversation quickly, but sometimes you just can't get there quickly enough. That's the problem. Yeah, we had I think there was one player that was interested in us out of the gates. I've never had so few players be lacking starting interest in us. So we have an uphill battle this year. Recruitment-wise, as we're looking at 2-star pipeline rating here. Silver, call it what you will. Avoiding the JUCOs, of course. I thought that was going to be Pero Aguayo's backflip. Let's see if we can just get everybody in a line here. Everybody but the tackles. Okay. So, let's go to the bottom of the board then with our new additions. Austin Cooper. This is the year of defensive gems, man. This is nuts. Lucky fine. Is this the promotion that we can get 4 stars? We'd be 1 away from that. We are currently in tier 6. And we would need to get to tier number 4. And that is kind of the best we can hope for at this point. I believe mathematically we're cooked in terms of hitting the top tier. Unless we were to go up every single year. Dude, this guy's got 83 finesse moves out of the gates. That's fucking nuts. Not a gem, but I'm going to treat him like one. Tim Terrell. 88 strength out of the gates. 75 power. He's solid. This is a really good year for defense. A really good year. Jay Cummings is goings. Terrence Bandy. 80 power moves out of the gates. I certainly like that. Have to run the table. I mean, my goal at this point is a national title before we're done. I think we can get there. Shout out to Gym Class Hero, 4 years, 48 ridiculous months, Gym Class. Thank you so much for that. Go back to bed. Go back to bed. But thank you for that, my man. How the heck are you? First game of the year. Let's just skip right through it and see what happens against Duke. If we lose this game, though, I'm going to be mad because then it's going to be like, oh, we should have played. But we got to put this theory to the test. Is this team significantly better while menu simming? We did beat Duke. Contender status went down despite the win. Our program tradition also went down despite the win. But we did win that game. Oh, good, Miami. How one-sided was it? We only won 17-14. Okay. I mean, they weren't particularly dominant. Sanders went without a touchdown. No points in the fourth quarter for Duke, though. That was the key. I guess we'll accept it. Our 90 overall defense played like it. Our really good offense didn't play like it. Miami will be a bigger challenge, Gym Class again. Take it easy. Thank you again. Again. Who can I take off my board now? Soro, Felix Mayers. All right, let's see. Victor Littlejohn. Watch the menu sim stop Miami. That's what I'm intrigued by, because a team like Miami, we have significantly struggled against for years. We have not beaten them in like 15 seasons. Granted, we haven't been now in the same conference for a while, but it's been a long time. You know, the caveat being this time we have the best team we've ever had on paper. But if we kick the crap out of them, then it kind of lends credence to the idea that, yeah, we should be menu simming, because we would not have a completely one-sided victory through the Super Sim. I mean, I can all but guarantee that. The percentage is so likely. This guy's okay. Okay. Suppose we can look at him. What about Coco Jasmine? We don't have as many scouting points as we used to back in the day either. He's also okay. 5 points on him. The Redbird rivalry. We gotta see if there's merit to this team being better as a sim team. We gotta see. We still lost to Miami. Son of a bitch. We cannot beat them. How bad was this? 36-21. Okay. That's one of the most lopsided losses we've had so far. We had a similar loss to Boise State last year. We have yet to lose via rout. We have won games by routing our opponents, but we have not lost any completely one-sided games like we have during the Super Sim. So I want to see how this goes. I think I do want to see how this goes. Again, it kind of severs the relationship with the team, and seeing these players make big plays or totally fucking it up. But I think it is still going to be worth seeing, like, just, okay, if we had just simmed from the menu the whole time, would we have been better, or is it about the same, and that every season would still be a little bit of a struggle? Could be either way. This guy's run block is disappointing. Get him out of there. Don't have too many spots on the board. Let's look at those tackles. The good thing is right now, if we ever have a year or two where we didn't need to focus on like recruitment and the amount of time it takes to scout people, this was the time. So, Zeke Torrance. 82 pass block out of the gates. His run block sucks, though. Oh, thanks. Bob Henson. great-great-great-grandson of Jim by this timeline. That was our bye week. Again, towards the end of the year, it might be proven that, screw it, it's just better to Super Sim every week, get a little bit of gameplay in there, and see what happens. Casey is pissed that he's not playing, and I totally understand. We have our other non-conference game against Air Force. A loss here would be incredibly detrimental. And might even warrant looking at some attributes to see if our quarterback just isn't him this year. We've only played less than a handful of games so far. RJ North, platinum clear-headed, but listed as a bust, so he probably won't get much better than he is now. Cliff Finna, how many years you got left? Well, it's what, 2046, and you get 30 years, so not many. We didn't. Oh, you're right. We didn't vote Air Force. It was supposed to be. Oh God, is it going to double schedule? Because I thought I saved it when we put Florida. I mean, fuck it. We'll play Air Force. I don't have a choice now. That's interesting though, because I could have sworn we did put Florida. But maybe it glitched out and double scheduled us, which would suck. Let's see what happens. 2 tight ends to look at. Manny Mallory is Gem, apparently. Points on you then, Manny. Congratulations. Let's double check the team schedule now to see if it did just not save or if it double scheduled us. And it looks like it just didn't save. Well, I'm not too upset about us avoiding the Florida Gators, to be honest. Let's sim this game against Air Force. See what happens. God help us if we lose this game, because, I mean, this should be a whooping. Missed out on Jasmine and Mallory. Okay, they did end up winning that game, at least. But was it close? Because we know Air Force is way down the totem pole. I mean, we're winning games, but not nearly as convincingly as we should. Okay. Maybe putting thought into... I mean, maybe we're not as powerful in the menu sim as we should be, so maybe it's not worth it. Maybe we haven't been holding the team back. There's a possibility. Interesting. I'm going to give it a couple more weeks just to find out for sure. It's worth experimenting around with. Not only because we're so far into this that, you know, it's just, well, shit, if we can make up some ground, cool. But also for future reference, right? Like, it'll help to know if I need to kind of change the way I play the game. So it is worth the experimentation, even if it means we miss out on some of the games over last year and now this year that we would have liked to have seen. Greg Owens, a gem of a wideout out of Solon, Ohio. Josh Ursua. Not a gem, doesn't have great speed, doesn't have great catching. Get out of here. Marcus Merriman. 94 speed, 88 jumping at 6'5". Impressive. And Cedric Hack. We'll take a look at that later. So this game here against Louisiana. Let's see what happens. We're number 11 in the country. We lose this game, we'll be 0-2 in conference, and all of a sudden, that could spell trouble for us in terms of the sim method that we're using. But we did beat them. Contender status up to an A+, atmosphere a C+. Was it one-sided, though? As what does the Ryan Clark say? The senior defensive end had 3 sacks that game, 6 tackles, 1 for loss. Tremendous performance there. What happened in that game? 27-17. So we are winning relatively consistently, but are we winning by such huge amounts that we theoretically couldn't win by through Super Sim? I would say no. And I'm pretty sure we've played the Raging Cajuns before. We've definitely played Air Force, Miami, and Duke. We have never played Colorado before. We only played Virginia Tech once. We've never played Clemson. We've never played Michigan State or Arkansas or Utah. I think we're going to start going week by week. I think we're going to go a little bit more in depth. And if that proves to be a mistake, we can always go back to the menu sim. But for the moment, we're not winning by such staggering amounts that we need to be, you know, potentially fearful. It's not bad, but we'll see. All right, so 3 stars will avoid fullbacks. Let's look at the running backs. Even if there's a good fullback this year, I already have 3 on roster, so I can't really justify it. You know, how many quarterbacks? More than we have spots for. Evan Brown. Listed as a bust, I'll choose to trust that. His attributes are fine, but not amazing. And Matt Dozier, the bulldozer. Although he's an elusive back, he is also a bust. Well, let's look at the QBs then. Not the biggest position in need. They're going to have to be pretty good. But after we scout these guys out, then we'll pretty much know whoever's there. I know we have a guy with the deal breaker, but his opinion can change. That comes down to playing styles. That's why I'm willing to leave him there. Because he's already flip-flopped twice in terms of like what he's looking for and what he's not. Only 88 throw power for this guy. The abilities aren't crazy. Ben Conheeney. The great Conheeney. With platinum winning time. I think we'll be talking to him. 91 throw power, 82 speed. Yeah, talk to him. So let's get some game time in there then. Our first trip to Colorado. We're number 9 in the country. It is, of course, a conference game, as all of our regular season games will be. They're down to an 81 overall. So not exactly this stellar, unbeatable team. But how will our team perform in the Super Sim? We did up the amount of time in the game. If we see that the stats are a bit too one-sided towards us and that we just like dominate awards, then we'll tone it down again. But
You've seen this script before. Top 10 team goes into a cauldron of emotion on the road.
All right.
To be able to get out and tell about it. As we'll see the number 9 team in the country, the Ball State Cardinals,
all right?
taking on another team from the Mountain West.
This time we'll see our team with the Mountain West logo as well. Colorado rated more like it should be. What do you mean? What are you insinuating that they overrated Colorado? What do you mean? Let's see how this goes here. Uh-oh. There's an immediate difference. Our offense is totally anemic. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. There's just, this is so frustrating because clearly we are significantly worse. All we're doing is putting up field goals. Come on, man. Yeah. I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna sim this from the menu. If they win, cool. I'll accept it. If not, we might sim it a third time. But it's so obvious. It is so obvious that for whatever reason, when we do that, this team plays like shit. And does not play like their true overall from the menu. That's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Especially, too, because, again, we've spec'd into Tactician. Like, even through Super Sim, our head coach spec'd into Tactician. Same as our coordinators. Granted, not to the same level. But we are stocking up on Tactician boosts. And it feels like it does nothing. At least when we're simming. it feels like it does nothing. So let's menu sim this game. We'll see what happens. Again, if they win, cool, whatever. They won. I don't mind taking a loss. Who cares? It's freaking Dynasty. But just genuinely, I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about it. And it looks like we did lose regardless. Cool. This time by how much? Yeah, this time it was 38-30. We weren't held to 9 points. Our offense didn't just completely disappear. And again, we've tried like every combination of like aggressiveness and stuff like that too. I mean, whatever. Again, we'll accept the loss. I'm cool with that, but there's no denying that this team plays better from this type of simming, and that we are actively hindering ourselves. I mean, we could do the moment play for every game. We could. But, again, just... I don't even know. Let's balance all this out. The other problem this year is most teams are 84-87, so it feels like all sims are coin flips. Yeah, I mean, we know that Colorado was an 81. We were supposed to have Florida. I must not have saved or it glitched out. I don't know. I mean, it's tough right now because it's clear, like, we're not dominating this conference. But it is also still clear that this team is... I'm still going to leave Boyle there. This team is significantly better when we don't do the Super Sim. So it's like, shit, what do we do? You know? Aaron Cantu was a bust. Get him out of there. Johnny Cooks. Gem with 90 throw power. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued at opinions of just like, hey, what do you guys think is the best way we should do? We know the circumstances now. We know how this game works. I had 91 speed as an athlete, but... Have you tried it with non-custom playbook? No, I haven't. I fully admit a big part of it could be the playbook. I fully admit to it. But, as I've said every time, we've seen this team put up 40 points. We've seen this team put up over 50 points in the Super Sim with this playbook. So, if we lose to Virginia Tech, we're going to be 1-3 in conference, and at that point, we might as well just Super Sim. We'll at least get the gameplay in there to see if we can mount a comeback. But we did beat Virginia Tech. What the hell, man? Dude, we fucking there's no way. You could bet your life on it. If we Super Sim that game, we were not beating Virginia Tech 31-6. No shot. No shot. Not a chance in hell were we beating them 31-6. Especially with our quarterback only throwing 1 touchdown pass in that game. I just don't know what to make of it. Because again, this isn't as fun to sim it this way. But we're clearly a better team. I mean, we just might have to save the gameplay for, like, the really big games. Like we said, if we make a conference title situation, if we... Cake, we're only on All-American, too. We're not even on Heisman. Double-check that earlier. 93 power, 85 speed. That's also okay. I mean, quarter length, that last game that we jumped into... against Colorado, I've moved the quarter length from 7 minutes like it was all the way up to 15. And our team still played like shit. That is why I am just so genuinely befuddled right now as to how to go about this. And again, are we putting our team at a severe disadvantage by super simming? But this year has obviously had some different results in that we're not, you know, dominating games by putting up 40-plus points every week like we were last year. Clemson are an 83 overall. Let's see what happens. Got a feeling if we jumped in, we'd play like garbage. I will especially feel that way if we were to win this game like this. And we lost. By how much? Because again, we've still never suffered. Apparently we lost a game in which a defensive end had 4 sacks. That's pretty impressive, honestly. Which means I imagine our offense sucked. 31-17. Probably still the closest to getting blown out we've ever experienced. I mean, Miami 36-21. Similar point differential. Okay. Oh, goodness. I just do not know what to think anymore. I really don't. There's nothing we can really sell Forbath on. Well, Lloyd, just continue to schedule out these visits and see how this season goes, but no. Like I said, I am just surprised by what I'm seeing, befuddled by what I'm seeing, you know? We lose to Michigan State, we'll be at 2-4 in conference. At that point, being 2 games under, Super Sim will make sense. We get Logan Costanzo at defensive tackle. And we won that last game. So, very, like, back and forth. Barrow Tutankhamun, 2 picks, including a pick 6. Very nice. Hard to believe that guy's a senior, by the way. Number 23 in the country. What was the full result of that game? 44-7. (44-7), 31-6. But it's not uncommon that, like, okay, that would have been a no-touching win. That could have been a no-touching win. In theory, lose a game there, lose a game there. This season's been a lot more close to balanced. Showing that, okay, Super Sim probably isn't making that much of a difference. Except that freaking Colorado game, we were trash. Absolute trash. What to do, what to do.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Just don't know. I imagine it's Nikolai. And let me know if I'm wrong. Thank you for the follow and welcome in as I try to frickin' solve world hunger here. Because this is apparently as difficult of a thing to decipher as solving that issue. Huh. So I just totally kicked my desk and my monitor went nuts. So where are we conference standings wise? We're in the running. We still have to play Jacksonville State. We did lose to Clemson. Our offense is 3rd best in the conference. Our defense is 4th best. On Colorado and Clemson, who we already lost to. I mean, based on how we're performing this season, it would make sense to jump in against Arkansas and see how the team performs. 80 overall Razorbacks. I mean, so we're heavily favored in this one, but we also know that we had a good overall advantage on Colorado, and that meant nothing. So, what do? What do?
Welcome to Fayetteville, Arkansas, a place where legends have...
Ozone, we did get promoted last season, yes.
Royals, Holtz, McFadden, Jones, and a rite of passage. We're really looking forward to this matchup. You've got a team that's made its way.
I hate that we missed our first trip to Clemson.
Now trying to pass an all-important road.
Said it was worth experimenting around.
The number 23 team in the country, the Ball State Cardinals, taking on a fellow Mountain West foe, the
Okay,
Arkansas
so
Razorbacks. For EA Sports College Football,
we did the whole play moments thing, which is fine. But again, like typically, you know my setup at this point. We like to see, like, can they win on their own? Lately, they've been simming like trash. And still, even with 15-minute quarters, we're only putting up field goals. Christ. We did get a touchdown there. I know some of these have been road games, but again, we have, an 88 overall team? At least now we're putting up points. But there's no drastic difference, it feels like, to how this team has been playing for years to how they're playing now. As we are going to win this game. So at least our defense played well. Our offense wasn't great. Haven't hit this button in a while.
No touching. The winning streak. It's been done before.
I mean, it's a nice win. I'm still just completely and utterly befuddled by this game and the sim engine. No matter what our team overall seems to be, we seem to be as inconsistent as ever. Consistently inconsistent. No points in the fourth either, which normally is the typical comeback effort. Our quarterback played well. Ran the ball well. I mean, our team did play pretty well. Not a single sack allowed. I'm not asking us for to win every game, but to see our better players than what we've experienced for the vast majority of this run actually play like better players, that is the goal. So that was solid, at least. I don't even know what to think anymore. I don't even know. But we're just going to march on. We're going to march on. There could be another promotion in store. We do still need to win games pretty consistently. It's our first ever game against Utah. Now that we're 4-3 in conference. Utah could be a little bit difficult. We're going to have a lot of visits this week, too. Best options to sell this guy on. Greg Owens against Jack State. I really hope that you care about proximity to home. I guess we'll go coach stability. Just play it safe. Forbath. Didn't really have anything to sell you on. Love, we can sell you on being a tender if it stays that way. And then is that it for our visits? Yes, it is. Okay. So if we look top of the board, Alani Mama. Let's start trying to seal the deal for you here. Optimize those points. Mr. Westerman at tight end. Again, we'll focus on the guys that are gems first for obvious reasons. Lloyd, let's put 10 points on you. Take 25 off. We sell you on. Already good. And for the hell of it, the dudes at the top, let's put you on an extra 5 points. Okay. This upcoming week, again, is Utah. We're number 19 in the country. As long as we keep winning, there's a chance we can make the conference title game again. 84 overall for the Utes. So they, in theory, should be more difficult to beat. Instead of us really struggling for the entirety of the first half in that last game.
Welcome to Muncie, Indiana, home of the Ball State Cardinals. And
Seen this home game intro a million times.
Fans are showing that they are as well.
All right. See what they can do. We see our offense finally start to play like, what, an 84, 85 overall offense? The answer is yes. This is prime fourth quarter choke job right here. Let's see if it happens again. No.
Well, look what we have here, guys. For all the early season doubts these guys have put together.
Maybe we menu sim through parts of last season and some of this season for no reason? Our quarterback only had 100 passing. What is going on? Also, I mean, I should hit the button.
No touching! No touching! No touching! Everything starts to turn around and swing the other way. They got it all going in the right direction. That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Powell.
We only had 7 first downs all game, but our defense held them to just a field goal. Sanders went 12 of 16 for 100 yards and a touchdown. I mean, we just ran the ball down their throats all game. O-line didn't allow a sack. Had an interception. Kicker went 2 for 2. There's evidence that points to my hypothesis here being wrong. There's evidence that points to it being right. We're somewhere in between, which means we're right back where we were 2 nights ago, which doesn't help or explain anything. As we get Alani Mama out of Denver, Colorado, and this is a week that we finally started to miss out on people, including a couple of gems. I think we're just going to continue on as we have been for the vast majority of this run, and whatever happens, happens. That is going to be my approach. Whatever happens, happens. We're going to go with the option that at the end of the day, at the very least, in theory, is more fun and results in more gameplay. Because I can now not outright prove that the way we've been going through this dynasty has been wrong or costly, if that makes sense. I am somehow even more confused than I already was. And that's a hell of a position to be in. Damn it. Scott Peacock, what a name. Let me sell you on, champ. You know, I mean, at least we're still looking good for recruits. I mean, again, we're in the running for back-to-back promotions, which wouldn't be the only time that's ever happened, which is insane. I mean, you know, again, we got the ball rolling and started making some of those big improvements. Son of Brad. Sure. Old Johnny Cooks. Yeah, you know, screw it. We'll put you on 50. Can't sell him on anything yet. And then, last but not least, Anthony Carmona. Hard sell. There we go. That was the bye week. I don't remember who we have on the opposite end of the bye week. If it's Jacksonville State, it's probably the biggest game of the year. Get Nate Westerman at tight end, Avery Lloyd at corner, DeMarcus Roy at linebacker, Ty Doomerville at linebacker, Scott Peacock at center. Holy hell. What a week. And we missed out on Cooper, who went to Toledo. So 7-3 overall, 5-3 in conference, and it is number 4 in the country, Jacksonville State. If we want any chance of promotion, this has to be a win. Because we lost to Clemson and we lost to Colorado. A loss here with 2 conference games, or 1 conference game left after this would seal the deal. So we need Colorado to screw up, and we need to beat Jacksonville State. The fact that we're at an 88, clearly the best team in the conference, and despite a good amount of menu simming, we're not outright in the driver's seat, I guess kind of proves that maybe one simming method isn't superior over the other, even though it definitely looked like that's what was going on. So, fair play. Man, we got a fight here for Carmona. Alright, we do have a lot of points to start putting on the people here. Let's start optimizing players that aren't gems. And just try to use up these points. Love, what can we hard sell you on? There we go. Mr. Stockton. Great grandson of John, given that we're almost a 2050, for God's sakes. Hopefully you're not as big of a tool as your great-granddad. Let's see. God, we have so many points now compared to what we had for the longest amount of time. That's good. Band-Aid. Terrence Bandy. Exactly what the other guy needed. Joey Boyle. Can't do anything for you yet, so we'll just wait. Aim for pack. And I hit the button one too many times. You hate to see it. About Mr. Finna. Sell you on. Don't know enough yet. Merriman, we don't know enough yet. Still don't know enough for him either. Or him. Yeah, we're going to have to start putting these guys on some better point totals then. Start updating these guys to 25 so we can actually start learning a bit about them. Maybe secure that signature. There we go. So Jacksonville State, a win here is incredibly important. Game of the week, apparently. It's an 81 overall Gamecocks team. In theory, we should be able to floor. Play the games for a reason, I guess, is kind of what we got down to. Guess so.
Welcome to a great scene here. Excitement and energy flowing in the stadium as we get ready for this week's Game of the Week. We can only hope that it matches the hype.
Oh, Cards. Prove yourselves here. We need to see it. And also, clearly having 15-minute quarters was not affecting much. I mean, we're having very similar stat lines, very similar everything. Even with quarters that were half the time. No. Don't you choke this.
Well, Kirk, we thought it might be this kind of a game. Very small margin for error in this game. Who was going to make the crucial play at the end? And they did it to get the W.
Yeah, Chris, when games
There's almost another fourth quarter choke job. Almost.
No touching! No touching! No touching! That's a nice win for this head coach and his team.
And that is going to...
They didn't, though. They held on. I think multiple things can be true. It seems like we're relatively close to even in terms of the sim types. I feel like menu simming can be a little bit more reliable. You're less likely to have random fourth quarter choke jobs. It seems like in-game there might be a bit of a comeback mechanic. Just speculating, not confirming anything. I don't know, but that's what it feels like. But maybe that middle ground between, oh, would simming have won us even more? Like, maybe, but not definitively. It's closer than I would have thought. But still incredibly weird. Incredibly weird, because it is technically back-to-back no-touching victories. So yeah, maybe there is a little bit more of an intact middle ground.